Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipniewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. You guys, it's a big night. You're not even going to believe. You know how we always have the crazy Hexicans coming here? We have one of the biggest, well, maybe two of the biggest Hexicans that I know. We have Nick, the Joker. Nick, welcome.
What's going on? How you doing, Tammy? Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you. And also, we have Bobby Crypto Granny, who is a big old Hexican herself. Bobby
Hey,
Joe, welcome.
everybody. Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
I really appreciate you guys for popping by the channel. We are going to learn about Hex tonight. And, I've always said so many people, you guys know the Hexicans are constantly spamming the chat, jumping on here, yelling about Hex. And I want to know the big question is why are these Hexicans so crazy? What's up with these Hexicans? Why are they so crazy? And also to find out indeed if Richard Hart is in fact a genius, because that's the rumor, right? Every time you turn around, somebody's saying, Richard Hart's a genius. Richard Hart's a genius. Richard Hart. I said, you know who might have started that rumor? Richard Hart. We don't know.
Absolutely.
I don't know. He might have started that rumor, that whisper
You
campaign.
got to
I
either
don't
love
know.
Richard or hate him, but we love
That,
him.
that's right. So we are going to find out tonight if indeed Richard Hart is a genius and if we should put our money into Hex. So the first thing I'd like to do is ask Nick, the Joker, why are the Hexicans crazy? What's up with that?
So, the Hex community has been around since 2020, or at least late 2019. And what they, we've been birthed in a bear market. We've been under a lot of FUD, a lot of scrutiny. A lot of people called us the BitConnect 2.0, and if you guys don't know what BitConnect is, it was like literally the biggest scam in like 2017. We've always been scrutinized by not just like big media for being a scam, but we've also been scrutinized by social media presence. Tone Vase, Peter McCormick, really big names in the crypto space that continuously just fuds Hex as hard as they can. And my analysis as to why we're so passionate is because the level of adversary that we've been that has been attacking us, it's pretty big. It's a big presence. So we must meet them with that same level of passion. So their communities come down on us, whereas we're like, all right, well, if you are the team against us, we have to rise up to be big in our emotions and our presence to attack against that and chill as hard, if not harder, than their FUD. And that's why we are so passionate the way that we are.
Well, you guys do a really good job, Nick, because I have to say, no matter what I'm talking about, no matter what video I'm doing, no matter what guest I have on, the Hexicans always bum rush the chat and are always talking about Hex. And Bobby Joe is always talking about Hex too. So I figured let's get together and let's indeed learn about Hex and everything that Hex can do for us as far as being long-term hodlers, because I know you go on the Sandstorms channel, and Sandstorm said to me, I staked in Hex, stake like $1,000 in Hex. Tammy, I'm going to be rich by the time I'm 50. I'm going to be rich. And I said, well, I how that sounds like a little too good to be true. When you hear it and it's too good to be, it probably is too good to be true. But you'll explain to us tonight how all of that's going to work, right? How it's not too good to be true, and how look, all the Hexicans are here. Well, not all of them, but a bunch are here. Hello, thank you very much. And you're obviously a Hexican because you have the Hexican logo as your profile pic. Good on you. Hello, Jay Johnson. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Thank you. We are going to learn about Hex tonight, and Nick, the Joker, is going to take it away and explain why we should invest in Hex.
So, first and foremost, I'm going to speak about the community. Since we're kind of in that realm anyway. The community of Hex has been by far the most passionate community that you can ever come across. We believe in a lot of things that Richard Hart says, because it's just, I mean, he called the Bitcoin top. I mean, the man has been just so instrumental in paving the way. I mean, the guy, he's been rich before Hex. He made Hex. He could have just stopped right there. He could have just been like, you know what, I'm just doing Hex and that's it. But he's seen a problem with Ethereum. that the Ethereum gas fees were really wrecking the Hex community. And he even made a hard fork of Ethereum to save us Hexicans from all those gas fees. Because if we're staked out for X amount of time, say a year or so, the way to unstake is ridiculous. It literally just dwarfs our gains, which makes it, again, a lot harder for us Hexicans. So he even went as far as doing that for us. So he's been paving the way for us in that aspect of it. But as far as like the Hex community goes, we are a solid community. We've raised over $27 million, I think, about around that, for the Sense Foundation, which is essentially combating age, where it helps fix the meat of our bodies rather than the symptoms. We've sacrificed for freedom of speech, for Pulse and Pulse Chain, billions of dollars. I mean, the list goes on of how strong of a community this is. So that's the very first part of it. The second part of it is the financial mechanisms of Hex, right? What is Hex? People always ask, well, what is this crazy thing? If I can find my little coin here, what does this thing do for us, right? Well, Hex is like a certificate of deposit on the blockchain. Just like you would look like at like, say, for a bank offers you barely 1% for holding your money for X amount of time, right? It's not a good investment opportunity, but it's $1 trillion market. Okay. Well, Hex is that concept, but on the blockchain. So what you get to do is you get to hold Hex for however long you put on the website, which is a contract between your wallet and the website on the blockchain, that will essentially get you passive income yield as you hold it. Okay. And currently it's around 37 to 38% APY, annual percentage yield. Okay. I do have a calculator that I can show that will essentially give you an idea of what Hex would look like, or what your stake would look like, say 15 years down the road. Now, the reason why Mr. Sandstorm was very excited about it when he was looking at it, and this here, again, never financial advice, just so you know that this is never financial advice. Please do your own research. However, if you were to stake $1,000 for, let me just see, Cuatro Cinco days. Can I share my screen here?
Absolutely. Do whatever you want, Nick.
Okay, awesome. Now this is just one of, like, these are algorithms that are put through, like, metrics. I don't really know the metrics that are put in these algorithms, but I just want you guys to see what Hex could essentially do for you if you were to stake it for quite a bit of time, for Cuatro Cinco, which is the longest amount of time that you can stake for. Share screens. I'm thinking this is it here. Share. Okay.
So are you saying 5 years?
So Cuatro Cinco is 15 years. Around 15 years. Okay. So say you want to stake $1,000. Okay.
Oh, do I have the right one? Did I hit the right one?
That's the wrong one. Yeah, there you go. So say you want to go ahead and stake $1,000 for a maximum of 5,555 days. Okay. That gives you the equivalent of 1.04 trillion shares. Okay. Now, a T share, that's called a T share. It gives you about 6.1 Hex per day. So it pays you every single day. Okay. So for 15 years, say you get one T share, $1,000. Okay. Let's go ahead and calculate. Now, projected in 2037, okay, your principal is $1,162, right? And you're projected to get a total of $16,000 after that 15-year period. However, if we were to say calculate that the price were to go up to, like, I don't know, say $3, right, per Hex out of 15 years, right? That's being conservative. Well, that's now $530,000. And that's, you can't touch this money. Remember, if you stake this out, you can't touch this money at all. So you can't spend it unless if you decide to end stake it. emergency end stake it, which then you'll lose your gains. You'll lose your you might lose some of your principal that you put in, but depending on how far along you are in the stake. But this is literally taking this money in this hex and throwing it out to your future self, meaning you're not looking at charts, you're not worried about the price performance or any of that. So let's just say it's about almost $4. Well, in 15 years, a $4 hex, I mean, we've reached 50 cents. $4 seems pretty plausible, especially with inflation and all that stuff and more cryptocurrency adoption. Stuff like Pulse Chain and Pulse X coming out to help hex adoption. This here is a very plausible price. Okay. Again, not financial advice, but 15 years is longer than cryptocurrency has ever existed. So you can just imagine if Bitcoin went up millions of percentages, okay, or a million X or whatever it was that they went up, Hex has the opportunity of doing that as well, especially, again, with how the markets are going and more adoption to cryptocurrency, especially the fact that this is a really good product, a good financial product that has its immutable code. It can never be changed. I mean, the list goes on. Audited 3 different times. But let's just say Hex decides to be, I don't know, say $30.
Oh boy.
Let's
Yeah,
call
let's
it
see that.
$30. That's $3 million for a $1,000 investment today for 15 years.
Whoa.
Just saying. And there's things that are being done that's surrounding Hex to help adoption, such as Pulse Chain. Right? It is the hard fork of Ethereum that's solving the crazy gas fees that Ethereum's happening that's been developed by Richard Hart. It is giving you a copy of all of your ERC20s onto the PRC20 blockchain. So it's going to help promote Richard Hart products, which is Hex. And say Pulse Chain becomes a new Ethereum because of faster transaction times. It's a proof of stake system instead of proof of work. Okay, there's deflationary mechanisms in Pulse Chain. A $30 hex seems plausible. So that's my little pitch about Hex.
Well, that sounds really good. That sounds really, really good. Thank you, Paul. Paul gave us a little super chat. I appreciate you very much, Paul. Thank you very much. Paul's from the Archie Nico community. Okay, so yeah, this sounds really, really, really enticing and really good. So what would we have to do to buy Hex tokens? Just go to Uniswap, buy some Hex tokens, then go to your website and stake them. And when you stake them, you absolutely cannot unstake them for the 15 years if you lock it in, right? What happens if somebody's like, ooh, I need my money. I need to take it earlier?
It all depends. So like you can stake for however long you want, right? It could be a month, it could be a week, it could be a year, it could be 3 months, 15 years, doesn't matter. The longer you stake, the higher the yield. So if you stake for 5, then you're looking at you get more T shares for your stake. So longer pays better and bigger pays better, right? But say you want to do a year stake, you can emergency end stake literally the first week, but you're going to nuke your bag, meaning you're going to lose a lot of your principal. So your principal is what you initially put in. You're going to lose a lot of that, and you're not going to get any of your gains. If you serve half of the term and you end stake that half of the term, you're not getting any gains. You're just getting your principal back. And then longer and longer and longer, you get more and more and more. Okay. But that's usually what happens. Now, there is a website called hexnoob.com with a bunch of different things that you can use as tools that will show you like charts, the calculator you just seen, a bunch of websites that will help your understanding of Hex. The Telegram groups are on there. Let me see.
I don't mean to cut you off, Nick, but look who's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. We have Brad the Sandstorm in the house who dropped by. Hex Joker in the house. Holla at your boy Two Face. Stake that money, everyone. 5555 Club. Yep, I was telling everybody how you were telling me that you've staked in Hex and that it's going to be a a ton of money, and I would tease you. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to happen. It sounds too good to be true. And now that I've listened to everything that Nick is saying, it does sound really, really good. I mean, as good as that sounds, though, I have to say that anti-aging thing sounds way, way better. Okay,
Oh,
that
I
sounds way,
know.
way better.
Oh,
I'll take a couple of
research
dollars.
research the Sense Foundation. That's what Richard Hart donated that money to, and it's fixing the meat, so to speak. So anti-aging is a big problem, right?
I need some meat fixed pronto, and it's all right here. All this meat right here. This is the meat I
Yeah,
need fixed.
Face
that's
meat.
exact. Yes, me too. I definitely, I can't wait to see what developments they have. And that's what something that Richard Hart always talks about is fixing the meat. Which means, hey, we have a lot of things like products to cover things up. We nip and we tuck and we have surgeries to do things to tighten up to look younger, but we're not actually younger, right? So Sense Foundation is actually doing things to reverse the aging process.
Yeah, I
Where
want to find out all about that.
yeah. So let me show you something real quick. Another thing that will entice you into Hex.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna share screens again and share. Okay, so here it is. This here is hexdailystats.com. And as you can see, there's a liquidity pool here of 160 million hex. Okay. That's the only amount of hex available, period.
Nothing's getting minted in the future. It is what it is.
Well, there's 3.69 inflation. So there is some inflation, but it's very limited. But currently, this right here is all that's left, which is about $17,596,000 worth. So a whale can literally buy $10 million worth of hex right now, and it will shoot the price up. Of course, there will be some sell pressure at that point, right? Because they're going to see the price start jumping up, and people are going to want to take gains or whatnot. But the point I'm trying to make is that the liquidity pool is quite limited, and that's because there is an OA address that holds a lot of the supply already to help with again, to help the price maintain a certain amount. And the stakers, which is about 10% of all of the liquidity, is staked and locked up for about an average about 6 years, a little 6.5 years. So that's maintaining a good price floor for Hex.
That's really good. That's the average stake time is 6 years?
About 6.5.
That's
so
impressive.
There it is. Average stake length, 6.4 years.
I think that's really impressive.
And that's 10% of the entire supply.
Wow.
Yep. So that's another mechanism, right? And then of course you get a copy of all of your hex, all of your stakes on the Pulse Chain side of things. So when Pulse Chain launches, which is that hard fork of Ethereum, you're getting Hex, but it's going to be called P Hex or Hex, and then this will be E Hex. So you're getting two versions of Hex. So all of your T shares, everything's going to be literally the same, just on another chain. So you're winning everywhere. You're literally winning everywhere. With any Richard Hart product that you have, you are winning so hard.
People, you have to love this enthusiasm. We have Hexy Quinn in the house saying, at the Sandstorm, yes, the 555 Club makes you a true Hexican.
I love Sandstorm.
I love your enthusiasm and the Hexican's enthusiasm for this, because it's just like you're brimming with it. You're like, this is everything. Can you not understand? Like, I feel like you're just wanting to scream at everybody. Can you not understand how big this is? What's wrong with you people? Wake up. Like, this is the thing. Get it. Can't you understand it? This is the thing. This is what we've been waiting for. This is it. It's not about trying to beat the market and trading and doing this. It's about the long hodl, putting it away and letting that money grow.
That's right.
Right? Like, if we had bought, instead of trading against the market, if people had just bought Bitcoin from the very beginning and just held it, look how much money we'd have.
Yep. That's exactly the theory. So Richard Hart says this all the time. Traders get wrecked. Period. You're going to, if you were a trader and you were trading Bitcoin at $50, you got wrecked. Even if you became a millionaire, even if you had 10 million bucks out of your gains, you got wrecked because you didn't sell it at 50,000 or 60,000. You sold it at $50. Can you imagine the amount of gains that you would have gotten if you would have held that Bitcoin? The same theory proves true here with Hex. We understand that there's a small liquidity pool. We understand that not many people are even privy to Hex, let alone cryptocurrency. Hex has a financial mechanism that has a $1 trillion market of the certificate of deposit. It's a banking market. It's a known concept that works, and it's using the same mechanisms of gaining yield. 37 to 38% annual yield that you're getting off of your money and your investment. That's not counting if the price goes up. So whatever you invest now, you're throwing to your future self. It is delayed gratification. And those that delay gratification in anything that they do typically are winners. It is, hey, here's the marshmallow theory. If you eat this marshmallow now, you're not going to get the second marshmallow when I come back. You don't get double. You get only one little marshmallow. So there is a theory that shows that it's okay to wait. And those that usually do are the ones that plant the biggest trees and get the most apples. If you cut down a tree after the first apple grows, you lost. You're not eating for life, right? And this is all about financial freedom. Financial freedom is really difficult to come by. And quick gains, yeah, you'll be able to pay off your house. But what about those taxes, bro? What about feeding your family for a decade or two? You got to do things to set yourself up for success. And if you're going to be trading, you're just looking at the now. Sure, you can make $1 million, but you know how fast you can spend $1 million? Or would you rather multi-millions come in in increments where you are staking with a staking ladder and getting paid every month, or however you set yourself up? The point is, you want to set yourself up where you are getting passive income all the time to pay you for the rest of your life, and not just your life, your son's life, your daughter's life, your grandkids, their great grandkids. You want to set your entire generation up for life. So guess what? You will be the next 1% in the world. You will own everything, and you'll be happy, and so will your family. That's what Hex is about.
Did everybody just hear that? Because that was probably the most impassioned speech I think I've heard on this channel yet. What do you think, Bobby Joe?
He's not lying. He's not shilling. It's not FUD. It is what it is, and gotta get on that Hexagon bus with us. Everybody gotta get on the bus. Just so you know, Richard Hart, they could say what they want to say. That man has donated 27 million. Is that correct?
Roughly.
To medical
I don't know
research.
the exact numbers. Around that, yeah.
And he did that because of all the, the Hex community is so good and so strong, and we're believers, and we wouldn't be here if it was a rug pull, it would have been pulled already.
Oh, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Come on. What scam?
I'm gonna say this in defense of Richard Hart.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go first.
Richard Hart, when they call him a scammer or a future rug puller or whatever, because people are gonna say what they want to say about any crypto, but when they do call Richard Hart out, you can look at any of his videos. He says, "Bring anybody on that I've rug pulled from. Bring anybody on that I've stolen money from. Bring anybody on that has lost money because of Hex." Am I right? Nobody showed up to this date. I know if I got scammed, I would be on, because I got scammed through Ethereum Max. And if one of those celebrities that were shilling it called it out, if you got scammed, come on, I'd be the first one there to call them out. So the project is true. I've been holding for over a year. This week, actually. And the only thing I've never done was stake or sacrifice my Hex. So that's where I kind of messed up, I guess, for my own benefit. But I'm going to learn. how to do that.
Yeah, let's get that staked. So I'm definitely going to buy in and stake. But I do want to bring up this comment from Maddie B. Maddie B is frequently in my chats, but he says here, Queen, if you knew who Richard Hart is, and obviously Nick, I'd like you to address this, and Maddie, I'd like you to address if you do have a specific instance, can you back this statement up with any kind of evidence? If you knew who Richard Hart is, you wouldn't have done this AMA. Shame to you for not researching this. And you are old enough to know old enough to know about his scams. But Maddie, what are you talking about? Can you give me some evidence? Can you back this up with a for instance? Do you have evidence? What are you talking about? What scams? What are you talking about? Because we have a hexagon, one of the biggest hexagons in the house, who would love to address what you're saying. And if you could give us a for instance, maybe we could address it. Maybe we could maybe we could squash it right now for you, Maddie. Maybe we could take care of this for you right now. So in the comment section, can you please give me an example of something or someone that you believe he has scammed? That would be a huge help. I'm willing to listen. I'm sure Nick, you're probably willing to listen too, right?
Show me on this doll where Hex hurt you. Where's the hexagon? Where's all my hexagons? Where on this doll has Hex hurt you or Richard Hart hurt you? For 2 years, he had every opportunity through Big Payday, through the Pulse X launch, this guy. Listen to this, okay? You want to? Goddamn, I'm dropping shit. You want to talk about how he's a scammer? This guy literally said you can sacrifice for Pulse Chain, okay, over $1 billion. He had sacrificed for Pulse Chain, okay. He said on his website, do not expect to receive anything for your sacrifice, okay. He said that. This man could have literally stopped working after receiving $1 billion, and he could have rugged and left, and legally they couldn't have screwed him because he has a disclaimer, and he said it over and over again. You're sacrificing for freedom of speech. Did he fucking leave? Excuse my French. Sorry, I don't mean to curse.
No, you're fine.
Did he leave? No. He continued to work, and he is rushing to, guess what? Put out Pulse Chain, put out Pulse X. He is still developing products and projects for the hexagons and for the entire crypto space because Ethereum is screwing you. That's what he's doing. So by you sitting there and telling me or anyone else that Richard Hart is a scammer, he's the worst guy in the world. Shame on you, Tammy. You let me know what he did to hurt you or anyone else and tell me why he didn't rug just yet. Because guess what? He has every opportunity to do that right now. He could have said, you know what? There you go. Hex is running. You sacrifice for freedom of speech. I'm not giving you shit. Bye. He could have done that. But is he doing that? No, he's not leaving. He's still working and he's developing the greatest products and projects that cryptocurrency has ever seen. So don't ever call him a scammer again, unless you got some proof.
Mic drop. That was boom, right, guys? That was like, whoa, that was a mic drop. Okay, so he wrote back something about, which I've never even heard about. What about issues in Panama?
He was a victim in Panama.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with anything about scamming? He was a victim. He got robbed. He had to leave Panama, leave everything behind, his shoes, his clothes. I mean, anybody who's into crypto, like big time, you're a target.
Big time.
So that has nothing to do with a scam.
So Maddie says, when you buy in early, you're good. And the investors that came in later get screwed.
Where?
But that's not, how is that scamming anybody? Maddie, I don't think that's scamming. That's just good investment. And who's to say it's going to continue to go though, right? Because there'll always be that staking, right?
Right.
So even if somebody
it's immutable,
gets in,
you can't change it.
Right. I think that perhaps people have, heard bad things about Richard Hart because, like I said, I have all my jewelry on, my nice jewelry. This is a David Yurman ring.
Oh wait,
This is a John Hardy. Like I got my stuff on because I know he can be flamboyant, and I think people see that, right? Isn't that a good word for him,
Listen,
flamboyant?
listen, Richard Hart does things for marketing purposes. So what he does is he shows his Louis Vuitton bags. He shows like, you know, all these like things that are going to make you look at him like, what is he doing? But that's all for marketing. He doesn't care about the watch. He has a lot of Rolexes. He got a lot of Louis shirts. He got Louis bags. He got everything that you can ever think of as far as money's concerned. He even has a Louis Vuitton bag that is a freaking airplane and a duck. That's worth like $50,000.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Bobby Joe's holding up her Louis Vuitton. Man, she really is a Mexican.
Yeah.
Jeez.
But he
got my
does that for marketing.
jewelry.
Yeah, she's got everything.
But that's for
Listen.
marketing.
Maddie B. That was the name, Maddie B.
Yes.
We love you. Buy a little bit of Hex and just join the crew.
You'll change your mind.
Yeah.
Just
Maddie,
join the
maybe
crew.
just jump in. Maybe just throw
Do some research and jump in, sweetheart. I
if
don't
you
know
don't want to do
but come on in.
$1,000, what would be the minimum buy-in for that, Nick? What's the minimum you can stake?
I don't know. I never did that before. I think you could stake one hex. I honestly think, and I think one hex is like what, 13 cents, 13 and a half cents.
Oh wow.
So, yeah.
Well, I just want to say something. I'm sorry. I just want to say really quick. When I knew nothing about crypto and I was just learning, I heard about Hex, and I never tell people what I have. But I went into Hex at 4 cents and 6 cents, and I have over $10,000 invested. So I didn't even think twice. I know that it's a strong project, and I get no money for saying this. People, do your research, and once you do your research, jump in. Don't listen to anybody else.
So he writes back and, hey, Maddie, I know, I say every live stream, these people are crazy. He's like, LOL, hey, Queen, good luck with this one. These people are crazy. They are crazy.
Everybody's
But you know
crazy.
what? Now I see why. I see why he's crazy. Well, not him in particular, but all of them. They're all crazy because, I mean, it sounds really good. And the way that he explained it, now I get it. I understand. And I'm going to get into it.
We're
And
crazy about money.
Maddie, in a few years, we'll find out, right? We'll find out. But it's been a few years, like Nick is saying, and he's still here. He's still working. He's still, going up against Ethereum and Bitcoin and everybody. It sounds like he might be the lone man standing. Could be.
So every genius is crazy until they're a genius. Remember that.
Yep.
Okay. The ones that do it differently are often shunned, and then they go out and make it somewhere else. This country, the United States of America, was made by people who did it differently, who didn't want to beef with the monarchs of England. And guess what? They came to the United States and made their own, and we are the best motherfucking country in the world. Okay.
Yep.
So with that being said, doing it different is just doing it different. You may call it crazy, but we are crazy about money, and we're very calculated. So let me show you what that looks like. Okay?
Let's do it.
So Pulse Chain and Pulse X are two other projects that Richard Hart is currently in developing. When somebody was saying, or when I was saying about the whole sacrificing for freedom of speech, this is what he was saying that we were sacrificing for. Now, there is a hard fork, a layer 1 hard fork of Ethereum, which is Pulse Chain, and then there is a hard fork of Uniswap. Okay? Now, let me show you what that looks like. I'm going to share my screen. Okay? This is Pulse X, the equivalent of Uniswap on Ethereum. Okay, you have the opportunity of staking Pulse X on this website to earn yield. The yield that you earn, and by the way, this is the test net. So this is the test net of Pulse X and Pulse Chain. So it's not out just yet, but this is something that I did not too long ago, probably about a week and some change ago. Okay. Now, on this test net, you're only allowed to stake in this pool for 10,000. Or I'm sorry, was it 10 million? I think it's about 10 million. Is it max stake? Yeah, 10 million Pulse X or PLSX. Okay. Within about a week and a half, I have earned $1,000 worth of this stable coin, or roughly a stable coin, PRT.
Shit.
Okay. This is on Pulse X on the test net. Okay. There are farms. Well, I don't know if you could still operate on the test net because I think we're going to launch here soon. But there are different yield farms that you can participate in. Look at the APR.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow,
this
that's
is what
crazy.
Richard
Yeah.
Hart is developing. You want to call us crazy? I'm crazy for freaking money. And this
Wow.
is money. That's all I got to say about that.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Really,
So
that's
these are the things that Richard Hart is developing. And when Richard Hart says, you're going to own everything and you're going to be happy, this is what he means. Okay? Everybody who's anyone that does their own research, that listens to Richard Hart's messages, that sees his vision and that follows what he's doing, he will literally enrich you. Follow the white rabbit, right? This is where the golden goose sits. And if you don't believe in it and you want to be one of the people that says, well, Richard Hart's a scammer because of Panama or whatever, guy, like any blind person would even know what the hell's going on here. Just do research. It's easy. And if you don't say you don't like this stuff, maybe you don't want to get into Pulse Hex or Pulse Chain or Hex, right? You still get a copy of all of your ERC20s, almost all, not the scams, but almost all of your ERC20s on the Pulse Chain side. So you still get to operate on Pulse Chain within your coins that you love, okay, with barely any gas fees, and the transaction times are literally almost nothing. It's almost instantaneous. So all those complaints about the ERC20 gas fees, with however much GUI that you have to pay to transact, it's going to be almost non-existent. And a lot of developers are very interested on this layer 1 fork, hard fork of Ethereum. So, guys, this is a win-win. He even benefited you without you even knowing it. Like, you don't even know it yet, and you just got benefited. If you're a Shiba Inu lover, guess what? Your Shiba is going to be on the Pulse Chain side. It's easy. So I would start researching, because you're going to eventually start saying thank you to Richard Hart.
wow. That sounds really good. So let's say, like this token that I have up on the screen, it's a Archie Nico token. They have staking mines right now, and I went to go stake some of the tokens just so that I could demonstrate it while I was doing a live stream. And I was only going to stake like a couple $100, but the gas fees to do the staking at that time was like 160 something bucks to stake it.
Yeah.
So you're saying that I would be able to somehow use your PulseX to stake those tokens?
So the way that it's gonna work, right? So whatever you have in your wallet that you control the keys, like a MetaMask wallet, not on an exchange, not on Coinbase, on a MetaMask wallet,
Mhm.
or any wallet you own the keys for, you will get a copy of whatever those tokens are. I forgot the name already. I'm sorry. What is it called?
Archie Nico.
Archie Nico. So you'll get a copy of your Archie Nico on Pulse. Okay. The staking mechanism may not work until the developers work on making it available on Pulse Chain. That would be for you or the community to go to your developers and say, hey, let's operate on Pulse Chain. The code is very similar. You probably have to change a couple of things in the code because it's a hard fork of Ethereum, layer 1. Change a couple of things, update the website, and allow staking on Pulse Chain. That's it. And then once they do
Wow.
that and they update it, It's good to go. That's what Richard Hart's doing with Hex. He's updating the Hex website to accept and to provide staking on Pulse Chain. So P-Hex, let's call it P-Hex, would actually be called Hex. And the current Hex on Ethereum will be called E-Hex. But the thing is, we still have the high gas fees on Ethereum because obviously Ethereum 2.0 didn't come out. So that's only where, again, we're going to operate on Pulse Chain because of that reason. And anyone else who has any staking functions would be very, very wise to operate on Pulse Chain. This also includes for NFTs and NFT projects. There's a hard fork or a fork of OpenSea that's coming out called Mintra. They're allowing for people to own NFTs and trade NFTs on a platform just like OpenSea, but on Pulse Chain. All of your, NFTs that are out there are going to be copied onto Pulse Chain. So now you got two versions of your NFTs. What's cool about this is that it's going to allow people to operate in the NFT space with very little gas fees again. So a company would be more inclined to utilize, say, Pulse Chain NFT space to start issuing contracts, maybe having contracts for employees, anything, insurance contracts, policies. All of that can now be transacted on Pulse Chain, and the code is similar to Ethereum. So it's better code to run these on. So it's a win-win. The market here is it's insane. I'm not a maxi, by the way. Just want to let you guys know that I am not a maxi in Hex. I love other coins. I love other projects. I love other products. Okay,
As much as you love Hex, or probably not.
Well, I mean, look,
Probably
Hex
not.
Hex got my heart, right? And so does Pulse Chain because of what it is. But I do love, like, say, MRI, for an example. The MRI community, the ones that support UFC fighters, that's a really good situation there, right? I'm all for that. If it's helping UFC fighters get more pay for essentially, risking their lives to fight in an octagon. But when I see coins like that, I would love for them to operate on Pulse Chain, because not only will it help their cause, but it also help their community because they're not getting screwed over by these gas fees. It's a win-win.
It is. So my friend is in the chat right now. She's part of the Archie Nico community as well. How quickly could that happen? Let's say JP, who is the lead developer of Archie Nico token, if he got in touch with whoever is in, I imagine it wouldn't be Richard Hart himself to talk to. Does he have somebody that does the operations of that they would have to get into contact with to find out how indeed they could get onto Pulse Chain?
So the code is all online. So they can go into the test net right now and see how they can operate within the code. It's very similar to Ethereum, except for it's a proof of stake concept rather than a proof of work. So you don't need like these mining, centers or whatever to mine it and to validate the or confirm the transactions. Excuse me, so on and so forth. But the point I'm trying to make is they can go and they can see the code and they'll be able to operate within the Pulse code because it's there. It's all, I don't know exactly where you can find it, but I know it's there. Other developers have been able to see it and to say, yeah, we can operate on that. So I'm sure they'll be able to find it.
But who would they need to contact to make that happen? Or you just jump on it? I don't understand.
So just like you would make a token on Ethereum, you'd be making one on Pulse Chain. So they don't have to like contact Vitalik or whatever to be able to operate on Ethereum. There's a way to do it for developers. Just like for Archie Nico, I'm sure they didn't have to talk to Vitalik for that. Right. So there isn't like a call center or something like that.
Okay, perfect. All right. So that's interesting. That's because I have things staked that are on the crypto.com, Chronos smart chain and blockchain, and it's hardly anything. It's a couple crow to start your mine and to do your staking, and to unstake, it's a couple crow, which crow right now is probably like 46 cents. So it's nothing. So it was a huge shock when I went to go stake those Archie Nico and saw that 160 something gas fee. It was crazy. But so that would be great. That would be really, really, really cool if we could get that to happen.
Now, this is the guy that you're calling a scammer, and he's working on this project to make sure that Hexicans don't get screwed over by these gas fees. And he said it time and time again. I'm trying to save my people. That's like literally his thing. He's doing it for the glory, and he wants to save Hexicans from these enormous gas fees. Because I'll tell you, after staking for a year, I've seen when I click that end stake, okay, I was looking at $500, $600, $700 to get my money out, and that could have been a $500 stake. So I'm actually in the negative for my stake.
Right.
So that's something that, again, Richard Hart has identified, and he wants us to be able to use this for its intended purpose. And yes, Luther is correct. Pulse also has burns with each transaction. I don't really know the burning mechanisms. That's not something I'm like privy to, but it does, and so does PulseX. So there's a buy and burn function on the PulseX, and I mean it's it's a money machine, man. I can't wait till it launches.
Yeah. So do we have a definitive launch date, or?
Not yet. It's in something called testnet B2B. It needs to be in testnet 3, and then that's the smallest kind of time frame for a testnet for, like, I guess the iterations that's been out. So once that's done, then it'll be able to launch. But currently, right now, they're validating all of the I guess the sacrifice amounts. So like if you were to sacrifice for Pulse Chain or PulseX, the first, I think, 1 through 5 days that they announced the sacrifice phase, you were to get a $1 or a 10,000 Pulse Chain to every dollar you sacrificed. And then it went less and less and less and less. So those amounts are still being verified and validated. So this way, once all those amounts are perfect, then we'll be able to effectively launch.
Am I seeing this right? Is it saying that the market cap is 79 billion?
Yeah, it's actually probably more. I'll tell you how much it is. Hold on. Go to Etherscan. That's where you'll find the actual market cap. Etherscan. Hex. Yep. I'll show you where it is. If I can total supply fully diluted, yeah. So fully diluted market cap. Okay, yeah. So it's 79.
Let me zoom in on it. Hold on.
$79 billion. Yeah, that's the market cap.
Oh, wait a second. I didn't share the screen like a fool.
There it
And
is.
my camera went out. Hold on a second. Geez. So what? How come you guys don't rank in certain leaderboards?
Because Coin Market Cap is a gatekeeping piece of garbage. That's why. Coin Market Cap is one of the worst ranking sites because they gatekeep coins that they don't agree with. They're saying a lot of their argument is that the OA holds a lot of the coin, which is essentially controlled by people that develop the coin, whether it be Richard Hart or a team or a bot, who knows. But the point is that because it controls quite a bit of the liquidity, they're saying, well, that doesn't count, and it's this weird, scammy. Again, they're calling the scam stuff. Etherscan is unbiased. Etherscan is literally what's truth, right? It's the blockchain.
Right.
So you can't lie there with your ranking sites. Nobody could just click a button and say, well, I'm not going to count those coins. No, that's not how it works, right? So the reason why it's not ranked correctly is because there are entities out there that don't like Hex.
So last night's AMA, I had Keith on from CoinViewCap, and your token was like number 1 on his site.
Yeah.
Do you know him? You know Keith?
Yeah. I know Keith because I watched Sandstorm and I was on Stand and CoinViewCap. I actually hold the bag, believe it or not, because I support what they've done for Hex. They've actually put us on a sponsored spot on the top because they were getting their ranking from CoinMarketCap, from what I understood, which gate kept Hex at spot 201. So if you go to CoinViewCap right now, let's see, coinviewcap.com, you will find that Hex, you'll see the rank right next to it says 201. That is because CoinMarketCap ranks us at 201. So in order for them to combat that gatekeeping for the Hexicans, they put us on their sponsored spot. So thank you, CoinViewCap. And that's why I own a bag of CoinViewCap.
Yes, I do too. Got in on the pre-sale. So we do have a question from Sam Davis. Can you keep adding to your first staked amount to keep building it up, or are you creating new staking periods every time you stake?
You cannot. So as soon as you stake, the contract is closed. That's what it is. That's how much you're staking for however long, right? If you want to make another stake, you have to make another stake. It's separate, completely separate.
Okay. Well, that was a good question. That was a good question. So yeah, it seems to be that, a lot of the Hexicans are in agreement that CoinMarketCap is no good and people are loving CoinViewCap. And I agree. And I actually learned last night that CoinViewCap does have an application for iOS and Android devices as well, which makes it very easy to just open it up on your phone and refer to any token that you want or see how everything is ranking. But it's very, very interesting. Hex just it sounds amazing. And I'm definitely going to buy me some Hex and I'm going to stake some Hex. And, I often say to my girlfriend, I'm like, you know what? Listen, this is everything that I have. Like, because what if I die? It happens. I could get
Yeah.
killed in an accident or something, and you'd want your family to be provided for, taken care of. You want them to understand where those assets are sitting. So I always like to remind people of that because, I have the crypto stuff, but my girlfriend, she doesn't know anything about it. So if I died, I had to give her a little bit of education. See this book? It has instructions on everything, how you get to everything. And so if I, stake some Hex, she could be a millionaire in 15 years, probably have, a beautiful younger girlfriend, she'd be getting over me, but at least I would know she's taken care of. And that's what would matter
That's
to me.
everything. Yeah, that's a generational wealth, and you get to pass it forward if, say, God forbid, something were to happen to you. It's a way to kind of be peaceful in your mindset, saying, you know what, maybe I'll be on my deathbed next year. God forbid, but if that were to ever happen, my son's taken care of. And that's a peace of mind that $1,000 are you going to miss that $1,000?
No,
Like,
no.
no, right? Like
People
you can spend that in a
spend
matter of like a week.
That's an iPad.
Right.
That's, 2 pairs of shoes, depending on, if you like the Yeezys or not. Like,
Right.
it's always perspective. Like, when people hear 1,000, oh, you know what I think it is? Because they have to come out of pocket. It's like cash that they have to come out of pocket. I think people are real
Dollar
easy
cost
to
average.
slide their credit cards. They don't think about it. They think about it as something down the road. But when they have to come out of pocket with cash, they're like, oh, but listen, this is an investment. It sounds like just like not once in a lifetime, because you could do it. You could jump into it at any minute. But I'm very grateful that you definitely educated me on this, because I definitely am going to buy some Hex as soon as we're done here, and I'm going to stake it because
Smart.
the sooner the better, right? The
Smart.
sooner the better for me here. The sooner the better. And it sounds like the longer the better. So is 15 years, did you say that was the max one?
That's the max, yeah. So, I mean, a lot of people can say, there's a lot of game theory and how to go about this. So if you want to stake for 15 years, that's the maximum you're going to be able to stake. That's the most benefit you're going to get. So you say you take $1,000, you throw it down 15 years, you forget about that money. Don't even look at it for however long. But there are people that like to pay themselves periodically. Hang on one second. Kelly, hold on one second. My dog wants to go out.
Okay, no problem. Take your time, Nick. Yeah, we all understand what it's like to be pet owners, dog owners, cat owners. You guys always know my cats are always jumping. Guys, isn't he wonderful? Bobby Joe, isn't he great? he's really, really great. I really like him. I like that he's
He's
so
awesome.
passionate. He really
Smart
is.
kid. We could call him kid, right?
Yeah, he is a kid. What is he, like 20 something, 30,
He's
maybe
probably
early 30s?
yeah. No, he's very smart, and he's Team Mexican, so he's a genius.
Yep.
Listen, at
I
the end of the day, people waste their money and they lose a lot more than $1,000 on other stuff. For 15 years, if you're gonna stake $1,000, you got nothing to lose. I gotta turn the light on in there. I'm sorry, but I think the kid is a genius, and he needs to tell everybody the breakdown. And I did hear him say something about Uniswap, but I believed, I'm not sure, but I was told that you can buy, and I bought it on MetaMask, and I believed it was something that Richard Hart was like saying MetaMask was the better place to buy it. I don't know why he said that, but I would like to find out. Just for people, like if there's something better to buy it off of MetaMask. I think he was saying for safety reasons. Yeah, check it. But I really don't know. Do you know anything about that, Tammy?
No, so I guess we'll ask Nick when he gets back about that so that he can, definitely, because that's why I have you here, because I know you're the seasoned Hexican. You would know all the right questions to ask because, it's, sometimes when you're more familiar with something, you have the better, more in-depth questions to ask. Where if you're new
Right.
to something, you ask the basic
Yeah.
questions, like how I asked. Like, although this AMA basically ran itself, like he took over. The Joker took over, and like he just basically laid out the plan there for Hex. I know that he talks sometimes with Richard Hart, but Richard Hart should be proud to have this guy as a representative because he represents Hex very well. He explains it very well, and that's so funny with him walking up.
Hey,
Hey, that's
can you hear me?
yes.
Sorry, I'm
Okay.
talking.
So we're just gonna mute. Well, I'm gonna try to mute her for a second.
Yeah.
She does have a question for you, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna unmute her for a second. So, Bobby Joe, what was your question that you had
Yes,
for?
I'm sorry about all that commotion. No, I just wanted to know because when I bought my hat,
Oh, you're breaking up, Bobby Joe. Shucks.
No.
The second that we can't hear you. We've totally
and
lost
I
you.
bought it on MetaMask only because I'm.
Oh no.
So, Bobby Joe, we lost you. Okay, you want to try again? I don't know if you're talking, but we can't hear you. We can see
Can
you
you hear
now, but
me?
we can hear you now.
You guys lost
Yes,
me.
we
Yeah,
can hear
we
you
can hear you
now.
now. Yeah.
Shit.
No, we can hear you now.
Hello.
Yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear
hear
us?
you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I wanted to know was MetaMask. Is there a reason why people should buy it on MetaMask versus Uniswap?
Oh no, we buy it on Uniswap. That's what we use. You can't buy Hex on MetaMask. You have to essentially have Ethereum, and then you got to swap it for
I have Hex, but now that you're saying that, I did buy it on Uniswap, but I sent it to MetaMask.
yeah. That's the way you
I'm
got to do
thinking
it.
back. I'm going a year back. So is there a reason why MetaMask was suggested?
Well, MetaMask is the wallet. I mean, you can whatever wallet you have that connects to Uniswap. That's a feasible option, but it has to be able to connect to Uniswap because that's where the liquidity pool is.
All right, you're right. I'm sorry. I had like a brain fart there. I did buy it on Uniswap, and it's been a year, like a week ago today. Like a week from today, made a year.
See,
So
if you
you're
had
right.
staked,
I'm
you already
sorry.
would have been a year deep into your staking, Bobby Joe.
Yep.
Yes, you actually would have made your 40% yield.
Yeah, Bobby
Yeah. Well,
Joe,
I'm
you
gonna be
missing out,
staking.
girl.
I'm gonna be staking tonight. So can you tell everyone how to stake it once they purchase it?
Yeah, sure. Well, again, go to if you want to recap on any of this information, you go to hexnoob.com and you'll be able to see videos and charts and literally every resource possible to go ahead and do this.
Is it
But
noob as in NEWB.com?
NOOB. Hex
I'm going to put that in the
NOOB.
chat for everyone to see.
Yeah, if you go to that website, I mean, it'll give you literally all the resources that I have. But if you go to Uniswap, or ethhex.com. Go to ethhex.com. Oh wait, why did my okay ethhex.com will put in the pair right there. It's it'll let you swap it right then and there. So you just connect your wallet, you put the amount of ETH, you put the amount of or how much ETH you want to swap, and then you can swap for Hex. Or you could put USDC. I think there's a USDC pair. You just connect your wallet and then you swap it. I mean, it's really that easy. Just make sure you have Ethereum in your wallet. And of course, account for gas fees. Gas fees are a pain. We all got to pay them. And then that's how you buy. They're absolutely high. And then,
but whatever they are, it's worth it if it's going to become $1 million, right?
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. So this way you don't have to worry about your worst enemy, which is your own hands. A lot of people are worried about hackers, but in reality, your own hands are your own worst enemy. If you see your Hex valued at say $10,000,
I tell everybody that you're your biggest risk.
Yeah. If you are the one to worry about your own hands, okay, or you say you see $10,000, okay, you're gonna be like, oh man, I gotta pay off my car today. I could pay off my car, right? And what happens then?
Paper hands
are gonna go ahead and persist, and you're gonna screw yourself over. And that's just how it is. Okay. Now here, I'll go ahead and put in the chat here on the private chat the staking website, which is go.hex.com/stake. That's STAKE. Okay, that's where you stake your Hex.
Is there still something called sacrifice? Or that's over?
No, that's over.
Sacrifice. I've shared it over into the comment section as well, so you guys can see it.
Okay, thank you. So you go ahead and you go on that website, and then you'll be able to go ahead and stake whatever Hex you got. So there's on the top, you connect your wallet, right? And then it'll say stake amount, however much you want to stake. You put in that stake amount, and then the length in days, there's a little calendar icon. You click that calendar icon, and then when you click that icon, you can put whatever date you want all the way out to 5,555 days. When you click on that, you hit the stake button, it goes through, you got to pay some gas, and you're done. It's that simple. And then you just forget about it. Leave it alone. Go outside and play some baseball with your kid. Like whatever you want to do. You don't have to worry about watching charts. You don't have to worry about having a panic attack. Like, oh my God, things are happening. There's a little dip.
Thank you.
If it pumps a little bit, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because you're not selling it. You're not selling any of it.
Right.
So it takes away from that anxiety. You can't touch it. If you try to emergency end stake it, which you can end stake, but say you emergency end stake it, you're going to lose half your bag or even more anyway. So it'd be really dumb to even do that.
It would be really dumb. So guys, make sure that when you're doing this, when you're buying the Hex and when you're staking it, make sure this is money that you're not going to need. This is money that you do not need. Money that, let's say, if you had it in your hand, you took a lighter to it and burned it. That's how you should look at it. Okay.
That's right.
Not money you're going to need. Forget about that money. It's going to be tucked away for whatever amount of time that you're staking it for. Then you're going to reap the benefits of that money. But don't stake, like an Ethereum worth. And then, a couple months down the line, you're like, oh man, WAGMI's popping. I should get into it, even though it's at an all-time high. Like now I should get in. Don't FOMO into something. Like don't end your stake to get into something else. Think long-term for Hex.
Right. Exactly. And that's exactly what it's for. It's a long-term coin. This is a holder's coin. This is what Richard Hart has developed to save you from yourself. You stake
I need
it,
to be
you can't
safe
touch it.
for myself, Nick, all the time. So this is wonderful. This sounds really great because I do. Sometimes I'm my own worst enemy and not even in crypto, but I'm just saying, so this is really good. It's nice. It's nice to think that there's a man that's looking after me besides my dad.
Hey, well, there you go. Yeah, it's a good investment. I agree, and it's definitely something that a lot of people could use because, again, it saves you from yourself. It gives you that peace of mind. It doesn't. You don't have that ability to harm your own pockets, and you know what? It creates that generational wealth, right? It's not just Hex. I mean, there's Pulse Chain and Pulse X. Speaking of Pulse X or in Pulse Chain, do you like to go to crypto conventions? Do you go to any of those, Tammy?
No. I mean, I
Not
would like to, I just haven't had the opportunity or the time to actually get away to attend one. But if there's one that's going to be local, I would definitely go.
so not local. There's going to be one in Vegas where a lot of crypto conventions are held. It's PulseCon. I just
PulseCon, wow.
Pulse
Is
shot.
Richard Hart going to be there? He should be there, right? If it's
Well,
PulseCon.
he will be speaking there. Yes. So
Oh,
PulseCon
he'll probably be
2022.
speaking on the screen.
Yeah, he will be on the screen. Yeah, that's exactly where he's
When
going
is
to be
it?
on the screen. It's in
Yeah,
September.
that's what he does.
September 6th through September 9th. And it is by far going to be one of the biggest crypto events ever. VIPs will be there. A lot of booths of different cryptocurrencies will be there. There's going to be a little background noise. Thank you. There's going to be a lot of different, again, a lot of different like cryptocurrencies that want to host onto Pulse Chain. That's going to be there. A lot of networking opportunities. So VIP events. I'm going to be speaking there as well. And there's also going to be kind of like like a booth where I'm going to be at, and I'm going to talk to whoever it is that wants to talk about their products or projects that are going to be eventually, hopefully, hosted on Pulse Chain. So if you want, go to PulseCon 2022. That's PLSCON 2022. I think it's PLS. Hold on. PLS. Let me just make sure I'm telling you the right information. PulseCon. So PULSECon 2022.com. Go ahead and get your tickets. They're going to increase the amount that each ticket is going to be worth to purchase on Monday. So right now, if you go, use code Pulsify PULSIFY to get 15% off. And let me tell you, this is going to be one that you really want to attend because once Pulse Chain launches, it's due to go viral. It's really due to go viral, and it's going to do some great things. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity, not only to network with others, but it's also a great opportunity to show your own projects that will be hosted on Pulse Chain. So I would strongly recommend you guys go there and check it out and meet me at PulseCon.
Ooh, the Joker is going to be at PulseCon, everybody.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? So you guys see it's I do have it up on the screen, PulseCon2022.com. Check it out. Early bird ticket sale ends soon. And there's your code right there, Pulsify, for 15% off. Or did you give them a separate code? Do you have a different code?
No,
Something that would
that's the
be
one.
That's the one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if you maybe you had your own little coupon code where you got like a little bonus or something, the Joker bonus.
Well,
a little
that's
side
good enough for
hustle.
me. As long as you guys go, that's all I care about.
That's awesome, guys. So, make sure you put in for your vacation time there because I think that's going to be really cool. Who doesn't want to go and listen to Richard Hart speak, and who doesn't want to go meet Nick, right? With that passion that he has for Hex. I mean, it sounds really good.
I'll give
really,
you a
really
hug.
Cool.
There should be an X there. I don't know if you want to click on that somewhere.
My computer is actually, here we go.
So it's going to be on the Strip, the hotel that it will be. I think it's the Lost Resort. I could be wrong if that's the correct term.
The Lost Resort? I haven't even heard of that one. Like, there's always something new there, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Vegas, man. The Resort World. Sorry, Resort World. My apologies. Resort World. It's one of the newer buildings, anyway. So And those are right now the speakers, or a couple of the speakers that will be there. M. Cray John is like a big YouTuber for Shiba Inu. There's a couple of Hex individuals that are known within the community. And then Richard Hart certainly will be speaking. I think his image is up there too somewhere.
Oh yeah, he was the top guy right there.
Yep.
He got the big picture, of course.
Well, it's
He got the big one.
It's his project,
Yep.
But he will definitely be speaking there. He confirmed, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a good time. I would love to see you guys there, really.
Yeah, that would be great. Absolutely. Yeah,
And represent
right.
your token. I mean, if you have other tokens that are ERC20s that will be copied over to the PRC20 side, or if some of the developers want to come on down, there are some booths left available for you guys to purchase, to have your stuff on there. So we can, that's like 3,000 people that will be there. So that's a good size audience. There's going to be tons in attendance online. And once Pulse Chain launches, by the way, once Pulse Chain launches, you're going to wish you did.
Right.
So you might want to get on this early bird special, and you're going to thank me for this. Yeah,
even just to stake, even just to buy your Hex and to stake it, because once, like you said, once it comes out, I think it's even going to blow up even further.
Yeah.
I really do.
Look, even if you want like immediate gains, I would buy Hex just because it's going to pump after Pulse Chain launches. It's going to pump because a lot of people are going to adopt it. They're going to see, what else is Richard Hart into? Oh, he's into this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and buy some Hex. It's a no-brainer. even for the short term, it's a no-brainer if you want to be a trader in this. Easy peasy, man. It's easy money. You'd be crazy not to. No, not financial advice, but you'd be crazy not to. You want to call us the crazies? You're the crazies if you're not going to do it.
So true. Hey, again, what's that website for the anti-aging thing? I got to put it in the chat.
Sense Foundation. So let me see if I can pull it up here. Sens.org. So it's www.sens.org.
All right. Very, very interesting. Because I like I said, I want to get young again. That's the hey, and wouldn't it be great if I could be young again 15 years down the road when I unstake and then I'm filthy rich on top of that? How great would that be?
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing. I guess we lost Bobby Joe, right? I guess somehow Bobby Joe is gone.
It looks like she lost connection. Looks like she was driving somewhere.
She lives in Manhattan. She has a very hectic lifestyle. She's, independently wealthy, and she's so funny though. Doesn't she remind you of Fran Drescher? Just the way she speaks. Oh, look, she's in the thing. Sorry, she's saying she's lost and she had a meeting. Oh, okay. So she said, it was nice to meet you, Nick.
Likewise, Bobby Joe. It was really nice.
And she was very excited to meet you because she's, fellow Hexican and everything. But yeah.
That's right. Well, now you're going to be a Hexican, right?
Yes. Now I'm going. Listen,
hell yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be as enthusiastic as you. I guess maybe I'd have to put it in there and start watching my money grow. And then maybe I'll like bust out in some costume, like how you do periodically in the Joker outfit. And then I can manifest a Hexican personality and give myself a cute little name.
Let's go.
A Hex tattoo somewhere. Although I don't have any tattoos, but I said whatever token makes me a millionaire first, I think about it. I would strongly think about getting a tattoo. Yeah. I have to see though.
Well, remember, Hex is a long-term investment, right? So it won't get you the $1 million kind of bag immediately, at least not from my understanding of it.
Right.
Especially for new investors, right? This is a long-term coin. If you want more of the immediate, Pulse Chain and PLSX, that's where the money's at, and that's the immediate kind of I'm getting money now. And there's other projects and products that are being built on the Pulse Chain right now, such as liquidloans.io, Mintra. Hedron's already out, which is another thing, by the way. Hedron's another situation that I didn't.
And these are all Richard Hart endeavors.
Well, no, not those three.
Okay.
Only Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and Hex is Richard Hart. The
Okay.
others are hexicans that have built products or projects on Pulse Chain or Hex.
Okay.
Oh, wait, not on Hex. Sorry, on Pulse Chain, but or on Ethereum. I think not Mintra. Hedron is in Ethereum. Yeah, it's Ethereum, but it's encapsulated stakes. It's in a whole nother mechanism. But yes, hexagons have built those.
Very cool. I am super excited about everything that you talked about. Do you think that because I'm going to do a deep dive into these other things that you mentioned, and then if you wouldn't mind coming back in case I have questions about those things,
Yeah, absolutely.
that would be really great. And you have a lot of social media platforms that you're on, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Want me to
what's the
talk
name
about
of
those?
your YouTube channel? I'm going to put it in the comment section.
Sure. It's official pulsification. That's official. It's right down here. PULSIFICATION. Like you're being pulsified, pulsification. That's where I stream. I stream there a lot of days of the week. Well, I like to announce my streams usually on Twitter, which is my handle's the Hex Joker, and my streams are different. It's a lot different than what you're seeing here. I tend to be very theatric. I tend to use a lot of the bang and and a lot of the music stuff and sound effects and comedy, all that good stuff. But ultimately, my goal is to bring as much adoption as I can, not only to Pulse Chain and Pulse X and Hex, but to cryptocurrency. I do it in a really fun way. So if you check me out on Twitter, you'll see a lot of the updates and stuff that I put out, which is the Hex Joker. Or check me out on my YouTube channel. 7 o'clock p.m. around that time is when I usually stream. And yeah, we certainly bring the bang to crypto.
Yeah, you guys, you have to follow him because it's so important to keep yourself up to date with everything because you don't want to miss anything when it comes to this because it just sounds absolutely amazing. Who doesn't want to be in this? I mean, everything sounds really, really fun, really, really good. His live streams sound really good. I can't promise you they're going to be the rated G content that you would find here, but it sounds like they're going to be fun. I don't know. You think you crank it up to rated PG-13 or maybe even rated R, Nick? What do you think?
So definitely a PG-13 at times because I have the mouth of a sailor. I was a soldier for some time, so I curse a lot.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Not a problem. But yeah, we definitely do curse, but we don't take it overboard where it's going to be like, what is it? Why did you just say that? Like, ew. Like, no, I like to make it fun and funny, and I mean, sure, we have like some X-rated jokes at times, but it's nothing too insane.
Some X-rated jokes? Uh-oh. It
Look,
wouldn't
man,
be
it
it
is what it
wouldn't
is.
yep, it wouldn't be a funny stream without at least one, right? And it
Yeah,
seems like when you have men are in a cluster, they have to make those jokes, they have to do it. There's just something in them. Gotta
yeah,
make the X-rated jokes, and they're
for
funny.
sure.
I had
Yeah.
brothers, I have brothers. They're funny. That's good. Now, let me just look over the chat just to make sure that I'm not missing anything because most of them were not questions. They were oh, well, Sherry, my mod, she's got a question. Can you give a hint for Pulse Chain? How long are we going to have to wait?
Oh man, I don't know. We're waiting 2 months about a year ago. So it was like 2 months will be out. Okay, 2 months happened. Another 2 months. It just kept doing that and more and more and more. But what I can say is a good indicator is that testnet version 2B, it's essentially concluding soon, and then testnet version 3 is supposed to come out, and then that's supposed to be like the shortest testnet version. So after that, it should be out. But Richard Hart is, he's working diligently. His developers are working as fast as possible, but they also don't want to rush it because they wanted to make sure it's perfect in every way, where it's beneficial, right? It's not going to get exploited, hacked, any of that stuff. And also, they're copying over so many different cryptocurrencies from the ERC20 blockchain. So, you know, it is what it is. I can't tell you a date, but we're thinking sometime soon.
And it sounds really good. And like you said, yeah, we don't mind waiting because look what happens to developers when they release timelines and then they launch something, it doesn't work, they just get ripped, the price tanks, you gain a couple zeros, people are let down and frustrated. Just that's just a what if scenario. That's never happened. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Come
So
on.
it's
You got to make it perfect. You can't rush things like this. This is people's money. This is your money. He wants to make sure that you're not going to get screwed over. You're not going to get exploited. You're not going to get ripped off. 100% uptime. Hex has 100% uptime, by the way. I mean, never been hacked, never been exploited. I mean, the list goes on. He knows what he's doing. And that's why he's a
right.
genius, by the way. He's freaking brilliant, man. When you ask what makes him a genius, the guy can really develop projects. He knows marketing. He knows how to, again, his project speaks for itself. The product of Hex speaks for itself. Never hacked. 100% uptime. The guy called the top. He's debated the biggest names in cryptocurrency, period, and stomped them. He's debated the biggest names in finance and stomped them. Peter Schiff, he debated him. Tone Vase, Peter McCormick. He debated BitBoy, everybody. Anybody who ever stepped in his way, he has debated. They called him a freaking scammer. They said whatever they said, and he's proved them all wrong. Even about Bitcoin. Like their own stuff. Like the guy's good. Like you should listen to him. Really.
Oh, yeah, I definitely will. But BitBoy stepped up to Richard Hart. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, he
That
did.
happened? That's the first thing that I'm gonna Google when we get off air because I gotta see that. That
Oh, and he
sounds like
has a
it's
lot.
gonna
He has a lot. Yeah.
it's gonna be very interesting. Nick,
Eric Wall too. I mean, they all
yeah,
said
all of them because I have seen him speak briefly. I watched a video that he had done where he, kind of sitting there in his king's chair with all his watches all lined up behind him and very
that's
smart.
not for nothing. That's not for nothing. A guy like that is not like that because he's stupid, right? You got to
Right,
think about it. He's well off. He knows what he's doing.
right. Everybody likes a little pizzazz and showmanship. And if he didn't do all of that, maybe he wouldn't get half the airtime that he got because of that. So like you said, it has to do with the marketing. It's all about marketing and visibility but I mean, well, in the end, it's going to be about utility. And when people start unstaking and they get to show, okay, well, this is what it made, it almost makes you want a crystal ball just so that you could look into the future for that, aha, I told you so type of moment. But Nick, thank
All,
you. Oh, go.
Before we go, all I got to do is just, I just want to just, first of all, thank you for what you've done, for holding this live stream with me. I absolutely want to, continue this kind of relationship with you, because this is needed. Obviously, there's people out there that are still brainwashed by the media, calling Richard Hart a scammer and whatever. He's not that. I behoove all of you, go do some research. Really look at what's happening. Look beyond the press. Okay, look behind the press. Look beyond the nonsense that's being said, and formulate your own opinions. Not your opinions that people tell you, but the opinions of what you see out of timelines. Be analytical in what you see. Analyze it for your own mind. Because when you see stuff like it's been in production for 2 years, I mean, not production, but it's been out for 2 years. He's doing this, he's doing that. His actions are louder than what these people are saying. So do yourselves a real big solid and look at finance and different financial vehicles like Hex in a different light. Don't let people tell you what you need to be investing into. Do your own research. Okay. So that's number one. And number two, in the community, there are bad apples. I'm going to tell you this right now. There are bad apples in the Hex community. There are these maxis that are out there and they're trying to taint our name. They're the ones that are out there kicking and screaming, you should only be in Hex. Don't listen to those freaking morons. Okay. And some of them are these OGs that people talk about. They own businesses and companies in Hex. Okay. Primarily merchandise shops that they want you to only want their stuff. Those individuals are toxic and they should not be followed. Follow the general path of the community. The Hexicans helping Hexicans. The, hey, this also seems pretty cool. Let's hear what they have to say. Instead of being the very thing that they hate, is when people were calling us a scam and pointing us at us and say, those guys, Hexicans are a scam. But now they're pointing at other people, calling them a scam. They have become the very thing, the maxis that they freaking hate. And those people, stay away from them. They hide behind these images. They talk their nonsense. They are literally tainting our image. Do not pay attention to them. Look at what we are. Look at what Hex is. Look at the financial vehicle and the financial mechanism that it has to provide to you and your family for generational wealth. And look at Pulse Chain, Pulse X, and what Richard Hart has to say. And don't become a Richard Hart maxi either, because not everything he says is 100% correct. There are things that he says that you'll be looking, okay, that's fine for you, but not fine for me. Formulate your own opinions and do whatever is right for you as an individual. Again, do not do what people tell you to do. Do what you found that is right for you. And that's all.
That was so well put, Nick. I agree. So, in essence, people, be a critical thinker. Okay. Don't be a zombie. Don't be brainwashed. Do your own research. Be a critical thinker. Have a critical eye on everything and everyone. And, Believes dropped by. Believes is like, oh shit, the Joker got a new camera. Did you get a new camera?
I just took off the filter.
What kind of filter?
So the Joker filter. I have a filter that I put on my face.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. It's just a filter?
It used to be makeup. Now it's a filter, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, can you do the filter?
Yeah, sure. Let me
Sam Davis is saying that he can listen to you all day because you're a great speaker. Thank you, Sam. That's very nice. Nick loves to hear that.
I appreciate that, Sam.
Look at that, everybody. I want everyone to see this handsome guy, because look at him, the handsome guy, the Joker. That is a filter.
Yep.
That is unbelievable. What software are you using for that?
Snap Camera.
Now, is it something that you had to specifically download the template for, the face, or is it just that was there and you just chose that one?
It was there, yeah.
Okay. Could you build something?
Yeah. A buddy of mine built this. Hex Luther built this one.
Wow. That's crazy. That's insane. I didn't know that even existed. That's Sherry says it looks real. Yep.
Yeah, so
Bobby Joe asked if you like, I think it's Dan Pena or Don Pena.
what's Dan Pena?
I don't know. She just says, does Nick like Dan Pena? I don't know.
I
thought maybe it was a Hexican that you were familiar with and would know who that was.
Maybe. Maybe.
Okay. Believe says it's how I was doing the Disney. Oh, okay. On the Sandstorm. Okay. I missed that one. Was it last night that you were doing it during the game streaming thing? I missed it. I had my own live stream that I was doing, so I missed the earlier part of that, Believes. But I would have loved to see you in costume, Believes. How funny that would have been, right? Jeez. That would have been great. It was such a pleasure to have you on, Nick. I really, really appreciate you taking the time from your Saturday night, because you're a handsome, good-looking young guy. I'm sure there's many things you could be out doing instead of being on the Crypto Queen channel, educating everybody about Hex. But I do appreciate you that you stopped by.
This is everything to me. Sure, there are other activities that, anybody could be doing on a Saturday, but I think this is the most important activity I could be doing, is educating people on how to get real financial freedom. And speaking for the Hex community, because I really love the Hex community. I love the Pulse community, and I love the crypto space. And if I could help people have more informed decisions, then I'm doing my job in helping people get to financial freedom. And that's the Hexagon way. That is literally the Hexagon way.
Now I see why the Hexicans are all such a little tight-knit group of people, and why they're so enthusiastic, and why they really stand up and love one another. Like it sounds like a really great community. Sherry, what do you think? Are we going to become Hexicans or what? I know Bobby Joe is already a Hexican, so I think, yeah, I'm going to fall in line. I don't know if I'm going to be as hardcore as you, but hey, never say never, right, Nick? You
That's
never
right.
say never. Who knows? You might see me all dolled up. I see you already have the Harley Quinn character taken up by somebody, so
That's
can't
my
do that.
co-host.
Oh, yeah. Can't do that. So I'm gonna have to think of something else if I in fact do get that buff
Okay.
into it. But Nick, thank you very much for joining the Crypto Queen channel. I really appreciate you for coming on by.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
It was my pleasure, and I look forward to having you back again once I, bomb hex, stake it, and then I'm going to get into the other stuff that you were talking about because it all just, and guys, if you missed any portion of this, of course it's live, it's going to be posted. You can go back and rewatch it. Please go to all of Nick's different social media platforms. When we get off, I don't think I have them posted in the comment section right now, but as soon as I get off, I'm going to post all of his links in the comment section, not the comment, the description box. This way you can go visit all of his socials out there and join him and just hang out with him because his live streams sound way more cooler than mine. I just, 'cause I'm an old lady. So he just sounds like a whole lot more fun than I would ever be. So I definitely encourage you guys to go on over and follow him on everything. But until next time, guys, I really appreciate you for dropping on by and learning about Hex with us from Nick, the Joker, a very enthusiastic Hexican. And until next time, remember, try to only buy on those red candles and please take care of yourself. Good night, everybody.
Good night.